Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. So thank you everyone for joining. We are reading today the book entitled The Four Questions by His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu. Questions are the answers. Questions lead to answers. Questions open up life. Questions open up solutions. Questions lead to our betterment. So, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Human beings should be inquisitive and ask about number one. What's the first question? Yes, Karina?
Question number one is, what is my purpose?
What is my purpose? Why do I exist? What is life meant for? Number two, what's the second question?
How can I be of service, Prabhuji?
How can I be of service? Wonderful, excellent. Number three,
What is the lesson?
what is the lesson? And number four, which you have not read, but it's good to review. Where am I putting my, yes, Karina, you know that?
Attention on.
Yeah. Where am I putting my attention right now? Right? So we are at third question. So we'll complete the third question, which is one of the longer ones. World is a university, right? Right. We talked about some relationship aspect. We talked about tolerance aspect. We talked about humility, right? The world is trying to teach us so many lessons every day, every moment. Only if we take it with the proper view. Computer is freezing up. Do you see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, it cannot move. So I'm purely somehow the pictures are not popping up, which is not good. I'm opening the book again. But let's review so far. Okay, question 3. What do you recall? What's the lesson? Anything anyone recalls? Yes, Avni, Vidhi.
Don't fall into the thing of becoming like a victim and always trying to victimize yourself. And instead you should try to understand like what happened and how you can improve your experience from next time.
Yeah, get off the victim wagon. Don't say, oh, she's at fault, he's at fault, they always do this to me, they're never good. Always complaining, blaming. Not good. We also discussed when emotions are high, rationale is low, inversely proportional. So don't mix high emotions with high, or don't take important decisions and when emotions are high, too happy, too sad, too angry. Okay, so now let's read further. Failure is the pillar of success. Okay, anyone wants to read this? Yes. Whoever wants that group. You can all three read and then we'll go to the others.
Failure is the pillar of success. Spiritual practice isn't an action. Neither is a spiritual practitioner immune from challenges and difficulties. Anyone who has for any reason taken to a worthy practice knows that there are always challenges and complexities. To cope with them, it's important to have a long-term, holistic perspective. Srila Prabhupada used to say that there are accidents even on royal roads. So-called failures, he wrote, may not be detrimental. They may be the pillars of success. Remember, I
Sorry, it crashed.
uh-oh.
I mean, it's a life proof, right? There are crashes on the royal road, no matter how good or bad computer you may have, it can just crash. I'm trying to reopen. Just give me a few moments. Yes.
Okay. Whenever I remember this, I feel both relief and a sense of determination to succeed. I hope you feel the same. Tim Ferriss, in his book Tribe of Mentors, lists responses by his mentors when asked, how has a failure or apparent failure set you up for success later in life? Do you have a favorite failure? One response was from Leo Babauta, the founder of Zen Habits, a website with 2 million readers dedicated to finding simplicity and mindfulness amidst daily chaos. In 2005, I was stuck, deeply in debt, overweight, addicted to junk food, no time for my family, couldn't stick to an exercise plan. I felt like an absolute failure. But this led to me researching habits and how to change them, and I put my entire being into making one single change. And then another. It led to my entire life changing, and to me, helping others to change habits. It felt horrible, but it was one of the most incredible lessons of my life. The first change I made was quitting smoking, which turned out to be one of the hardest changes I've made, and I don't recommend starting with it. But I put everything I had into it, and I learned a lot about changing habits. The next change was adding running as a way to cope with stress after I quit smoking and start getting healthier. After that, I became vegetarian and started meditating. Best-selling author Kyle Maynard and ESPY award-winning mixed martial arts athlete known as the first quadruple amputee to reach the summits of Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Aconcagua without the aid of prosthetics, reflected on his failures. It's almost more difficult to think of a time when an apparent failure didn't set me up for later success. Failure is inextricably connected to any major success I've ever had. My favorite failure was my earliest. My grandma Betty had this dark green jar she used to ask me to get sugar out of, except the catch was, as an amputee, I used both arms to grip things, and I could only fit one arm inside the jar. I'd sit there for hours, repeatedly failing to balance the scoop on my one arm. I'd get it right to the edge, then lose it. After 50 more tries, I'd get it back near the top before I'd lose it again. Eventually, and sometimes, to my surprise, I'd succeed. It not only helped with my dexterity and focus, but it also helped build my will. The best way I can describe the feeling is a Finnish word, sisu, the mental strength to continue to try even after you feel you've reached the limits of your abilities. I don't think failure is sometimes part of the process. It always is. When you feel you can't go on, know that you're just getting started. The phoenix must burn to emerge, writes best-selling author Janet Fitch in her novel White Oleander. I can relate to the image of the phoenix, which cyclically expires in flame, then is reborn from the ashes. German philosopher George Hegel wrote, "Die to live." When our false sense of ourself dies, when our expectations burn to ashes, we may find in the remains the indestructible sense of purpose and determination that we missed when all seemed to be going well. There is a seed of success in failure. To water that seed is to ask, what is the lesson?
Wow. Nice mental picture, right? Watering the seed. What is the lesson? The seed of success in the failure. Interesting. Any comments? Anything struck you? Okay. Now it's time for key takeaways. So what are your key takeaways in chapter 3 or question 3? Anyone wants to share? Everyone at least share one or more. Yes, please type or unmute. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. One key takeaway for me is always try to learn from whatever is happening. So, like, if it's good, you can think, okay, now what did I do correct to like end up having like this? Like, if it goes wrong, then you can think, what can I change for next time for this to go better?
Okay. Yeah. Seek for the lesson or have the learner mode. How can I improve? Okay, wonderful. What else? Anyone else? Anyone else wants to share? I see some comments there. Seed of success and happiness. Success and happiness is in the failure. Okay. Seed of success. I think, yeah. Seed of success is in the failure. And when we are watering, that water is, what's the lesson, right? So the fruit of success, right? That like elaborated. The fruit will come, right? So what is the fruit or the tree? So here, let's put it in a simple way. Failure is equivalent to what? Seed, right? And what is, let's say we want mango, right? So the fruit or tree, flower, whatever we may say, is what? Success, right? The end product. But to get to end product, we need something. We need to constantly water it. What is the water? The mindset, right? Ask questions. What is the lesson? So that mindset, right? Do you agree with that? Okay. Okay. There's a lot of commotion. Okay. Don't feel like this, the end. Don't feel like it's end because of failure. Okay. So in short, failure is a journey, right? So don't feel it's the end, right? Okay. Or also here mentioned a stepping stone. What else? Please speak up or write, whatever.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So I was thinking, like, I thought of this quote. I can't remember who said it, but it went like, failure is just a feeling until you see the results of it. So like when you fail at something, you can't let it get you down or like give up. So if you fail at something, you have to try harder the next time instead of giving up completely.
Mm. Yeah, awesome. So it's a journey. So failure is when you stop trying, right? In short. Okay, very good. So let's see some from the book. The universe is a cosmic schoolhouse. I noticed one thing which, while typing this, that all of us, most of us, said something what we read maybe today or the last time. Interesting, right? Did you observe that? Does it tell something? Right? This, I mean, the whole topic of failure we read today, and from this whole chapter, it's not complaining, or that's how mind is, right? It's fresh, so we are sharing. But in this chapter, we read so many things. The entire universe is a schoolhouse, right? Cosmic school, school of knowledge, school of relationships, school of tolerance, right? Just because things are out of my control doesn't mean they're out of control. Beautiful, right? God is controlling everything. Problems are our friends. Problems are gifts. Remember, we discussed that? They help us to grow. Be a learner, not a victim. Get off the victim wagonhood. Failure is a pillar to success. Okay, so interesting key takeaways. Journal prompts. Think about a challenging time in your life. It could be something which with which you have been struggling, or something from your past. Jot down what happened and how it affected you emotionally. If you believe that you acted in an improper way, write down. Getting these things out of your mind and onto the paper will help you with some objective and clarity. Now ask our third question. What is the lesson? Come up with as many different lessons as possible. Here are some examples through which you may want to hold off on reading them until, though you may want to hold off on reading them until you write on your own. So I think everyone is following. How many of you been through a challenging situation? Anyone? All of us, right? Because everyone goes through challenges. It could be studies, it could be life in general, health, friendships, relationships, dealings with people. So many things, challenges could come. Now, if you feel inspired, please try to do this exercise, right? Sometimes we may have not responded properly. What was the lesson? So what are all the lessons we can potentially think of? We write it down. We learn from the past so that next time that tough moment comes, we learn and we do better. I've been carrying resentment for a friend who's taking her sweet time to pay back a loan that I gave her. As stated in the expectations are resentments waiting to happen. I got the job I always wanted. Lesson learned. My dream job has its faults. Right? There's no like anything you may think of, oh, I always wanted that. When we get that, we'll not be so happy. Maybe for a day or two. After that, it will show its challenges. So the lesson is material facilities are never as good as they seem to be. It could be money, it could be the clothes you wanted, it could be the bike you wanted, it could be the car you wanted, it could be the degree you wanted, it could be the college you wanted. Someone could go in Harvard, right? But then they may see, oh, right, it's not what I thought. I'm not discouraging anyone from going there, but the point is, the lesson is this: material facilities, material things, are not as good as they seem. Some references. So this completes question 3. Any comments before we move on? Are we all good with the 3 questions so far? Questions are the answer. Introduction. What is my purpose? How can I be of service? What's the lesson? And now we're to the last question, which we'll study in the next, maybe a little bit today and the next 3 sessions. Where am I investing my attention right now? Investing my attention. In the last kids class, we were talking about investing, right? Investing. What all could we invest? People invest money, right? In different instruments like saving account or maybe, brokerage account and stuff. But what's the biggest thing we can invest? Our time, our energy, our attention, right? So it's very, very important. Let's see. If we keep asking, what is the best investment of my attention right now, we will realign with the only point at which we have power, the present moment. Is it making sense? Do we have power to control future? Do we have power to go back in the past and change something what we said to someone? No. So the only present thing which we can realign is the present moment. So where am I putting my attention? People often talk, I heard this yesterday. What happens in the White House is not as important as what happens in your house or my house, right? White House, this may happen, that may happen. What happens to the World Cup? What happens to so many things? So basically the idea again, circle of influence, circle of concern. Focus on this tiny circle we have, present, and that future lies in the concern. Past also lies in, but present lies in the what we can influence. Like you came for this reading. You could have done 100 things, right? But maybe you are getting something. Maybe you are learning something. Maybe you think it's of value to your life. That's why you are here. Okay, shall we get started? Okay, who wants to read? Yes, Lakshan, Prabhu.
Question 4. Where am I investing my attention right now? Our final question, where am I investing my attention right now, contains 2 particular important words. The verb investing evokes an awareness of the fact that my attention is valuable, and the noun attention contains the root ten, meaning to stretch. In attending to something, you stretch toward that object, creating a connection, like a tendon connects muscles to bones in the body. So attention is the active direction of the mind upon some object or topic. Giving something attention is making an investment in it, putting energy into it. And as we all know, different investments bring about different outcomes.
Interesting, huh? Our attention is yes, Lakshan.
Valuable.
Valuable. Therefore, the word used is invest in valuable things, or you don't invest in like your trash, right? Okay, I'm putting my trash in my bank account, right? But you put your gold maybe in the bank or savings, right? The things which are valuable. So it's the most important thing which is valuable is our attention. And what does the word attention mean here? 10 done, right? Link it with tendon, which connects bones or pull, Anyone recalls that? Stretch towards an object, right? So the active direction of the mind is attention. Yes, next, who wants to read? Karina, you want to read? Karina, you want to read? Yes. Okay.
We are sparks of the Supreme. Because it is an axiomatic truth, it bears repeating that according to the yogic teachings, we as sentient conscious beings are sparks of the Supreme. We have the same qualities as our divine source, just as sparks have the same quality as the fire from which they emerge. Our source is supremely conscious, omnipotent, and omnipresent, and has unrestricted free will. As spiritual sparks, we are infantile. We are minutely conscious, and our free will lies in our violation to decide where to focus. Awareness of this freedom is exhilarating from moment to moment. We can choose where to place our attention, or we can decline to choose and let ourselves be carried along in a kind of mass consensual trance. Many people allow preconceived notions and habits to dictate their lives, but anyone can place their attention where it can help improve the quality of their life. Rather than waking up from an absorbing dream, we sometimes resist and want to keep sleeping, even when the alarm clock rings or someone tries to wake us up. As the saying goes, it's impossible to wake up someone who is pretending to sleep. Similarly, one cannot wake up a person who is dedicated to the status quo, to ignorance as usual. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can lead a man to wisdom, but you can't make him think. Those determined to remain in their trance, to ignore the power of their own ability to choose where they place their attention, seek the association of those who support this constricted way of thinking. People addicted to drugs or engaged in other self destructive behaviors tend to associate with people who are doing the same and avoid spending time with the people who could help them give up those habits. In a society that neglects or even outright denies spiritual values in life, destructive behaviors becomes the norm. In such an environment, people who try to awaken spiritually and are often maligned by those not so inclined. People dedicated to remaining in ignorance think that spiritual practitioners are foolish for wasting their time pursuing a fantasy world. Krishna therefore instructs Arjuna, what is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is the night for the introspective sage. Bhagavad Gita 2.69. Instead of allowing the monumentum of bad habits to control our lives, we can choose to reroute our attention to thoughts and practices that uplift us. To one's daily planned activities may be practical, but more than mere time management. We need attention management. Ask, where am I investing my attention right now?
Wow, that was powerful. Any thoughts? Come on, guys, work with me, please. Tell me something, what we read. Bolo, bolo, what did we just read? Anything struck you? Did you call? What did we read?
That one quote I really like you can
Hmm.
lead a horse to water, but like you can't make him drink it, and you can lead a man to wisdom, but you can't make him think. That quote was like really clicked with me.
Awesome. Me too. Thank you, they highlighted it. Uh, how many of you have done this? Like, you're awake, but you're pretending to sleep, right? So, as we may have done it sometimes, right? Like, we're awake, but your mom is waking up or dad is waking us up, and you know, no, no, no. So, anyways, the point is that No matter how bad the past may be, no matter how bad the present may be, one always has that hope. Yes, I can transform. I can reinvest my attention and lead to a better future. But we think, no, it's not going to happen. It's always been like this. I thought, no, as Prabhuji mentioned here, people who are addicted to the drugs and all in self-destructive habits, bad habits, tend to associate with people who are doing the same or who believe in the same, and avoid those people who they think they would, uh, tell them to uplift. It's so unfortunate, right? Misery loves company, right? So the drug addicts go to other drug addicts. They don't go to church or temple for transformation. So even if they go, right, many people, like if even if help is available, as we said, the horse example which Avanish said, but they won't drink. They won't open Bhagavad Gita, even if you give them in their hand. They will say, oh, no, sorry, I don't have time. I'll have hours for drugs, hours for movies, hours and days for bad things, but not 10 minutes for Bhagavad Gita, not 10 minutes. Like all of you are spending so much, you're putting your attention right now. But because you are very sincere, you are yogis, you are sadhus, right? Most of your friends, I'm talking about materialistic friends, they may not be reading Shastra. They may be playing PlayStations all day, right? Or some other wasteful things. But that makes a difference. And you know the golden rule of investing? What's the golden rule of investing? It's also called the eighth wonder of the world, the law of compounding. Hmm. What is the law of compounding? Anyone knows? Basically, the earlier you invest, the more returns you have. Let's say someone is investing $100 per month. Okay, not a very big amount for those who earn $100 per month from the age of 20. Okay, till the age of 60. How many years? Every month. Investing for 40 years every month, correct? Are you following? Or is it too complicated? 40 years they will invest, like from the age of 20, they start earning, let's say 2021, till 60 years they invest $100. And there's another guy who starts putting $150, 50% more from the age of 40 to 60, 20 years. Are you following? I can only see Lakshay. Others I can't see. So one guy invested $100 from age of 20 to 60. The other guy invested $200 from the age of 40 to 60. Can we say they invested same amount? Investing, like principal, Baba, principal. They invested same amount. I'm not talking about the return, right? If you invest $100 per month for 2 years, and if you invest $200 per month for 1 year, you are same, right? $100 per month for 2 years is equal to $200 per month for 1 year. Yes or no? So the other guy invested same amount. Can we say yes or no? Is it too complex? Right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay. One guy invested for 20 years, $200 per month. One guy invested $100 for 40 years per month, right? Now, will they have same returns at the end? Let's say now they want to get their money back. At the end of 60 years, they want to get their money back. Will they have the same amount? Lakshay, investment guru. What do you think? Will they have the same amount? Their amounts will be drastically different, my dear friends. Drastically. They could vary almost $1 million or so. Drastically different. So the same is with attention also. Are you following this example or no? Maybe in the next class, I'll show you the exact numbers with rate of interest and stuff. But is it making sense? I know some adults are also. Is it making sense? Shital Mataji, what do you think?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji agrees. Good. I'll show you, I'll run the math also, maybe in the next class. So what does it mean here? It means that when we start early, the law of compounding, the law of compounding works here. When you start early, you are getting returns on those investment, right? And then it compounds, right? So we'll do more mathematical example next time in the youth session. But the point is start early. Instead of allowing the momentum of bad habits, we choose to reroute. So beautiful. Our attention to thoughts and practices that uplift us. That's what you're all doing. We're all trying to do is to plan one's daily activities, etc. So not about time management, but also about attention management. Where am I putting my attention right now? Where attention goes, energy flows. Haribo. The attention, the question, where am I investing my attention right now is based on the idea that where attention goes, energy flows, our attention is powerful. Consider a glance. Is it an electric current? No. Is it electromagnetic? No. So, what's in a glance? Because we are spiritual entities, it can be thought of like a beam of spiritual energy. Wow. Glance is like a beam of spiritual energy. When we give another person our glance or make eye contact, something of consequence passes from us to them. The feeling one gets is different from that of being hit by the beam of a lighthouse. When we are touched by another person's glance, we feel something beyond the touch of material elements. Wow. In the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad describes the body as a yantra, machine made of gross and subtle material energies. Correspondingly, the mind is like the software that directs the machine. Mind is the software, body is the machine. A doctor is like a mechanic, a psychologist, a software engineer. But why do we care so much about a physician's beside manners? If we were just machines, why would we even care? Because we are sentient beings. Because to be sentient means to be sensitive. We care. So remember, your glance, your attention has power. Regularly ask, where am I investing my attention right now? And improve your life. Okay, we will kind of pause at this point, page number 98. Let's take some quick thoughts, comments before we wrap up. Anyone? Okay, all good. Is it all making sense? Okay, so we'll pause here. You can do the third question journaling, right? Any incident which happened which was challenging and can take lessons, you all can write that. That'll be good exercise, and we'll meet on Thursday. So there'll be 3 more sessions where we'll complete the remainder of the book. Okay? So thank you so much. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavrind ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Hare Bol.
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.